I spent 100 days in Minecraft Scramblecraft. Hi guys, what's up? I'm the Drillsinator, and in today's video, I will be spending 100 days in Scramblecraft. What is Scramblecraft? Scramblecraft is a mod pack which I believe was inspired by Sethblink's data pack, the randomizer. All the things you love about Minecraft is thrown out the window. Every step you make to progress could be a completely different outcome in the world of Scramblecraft, made by the creator of Crazycraft, the Atlanticraft. So now you know what this is? Let's start. I started with 2 items in my inventory. One of these items is called a 1-block maker. Do you remember this trend? I survived 100 days on a 1-block? No? You don't? Well, I do. Anyway, I started to punch a tree and did all the basic Minecraft stuff until I tried crafting something. Welcome to Scramblecraft, where all of the crafting recipes are randomized. I discovered that you can craft a stone sickle with a puppy. It's always the puppies. This is what a sickle does. Show the powers of the sickle. Usually this sickle drops all the items you get from leaf decay, so like apples and sticks. But because this is Scramblecraft, all these items will get randomized. I could essentially get a piece of the infinity armor just by leaf decay. I got a spectrite pickaxe. Look at that attack damage. It was getting dark and my inventory was getting full. I didn't want to die, so I dug a small tunnel and tested all the crafting recipes I could get from stone. The sun started to rise and day 1 properly started, because actually you start on day 0. I continued with the stone sickle and got the infinity trident. Later that day I got the gring of air walking. As the name suggests, I can walk in the air. It's basically flight. It was getting dark, but because of all the items I got from the sickle, I had a full set of armor. I even got the infinity boots. Not the infinity boots that you are all used to. No, these pair belong to the same mod from the infinity trident. A zombie tried to attack me, but he didn't stand a chance. The moment he died, he dropped a spectrite sword. This sword has 14 attack damage with an enchantment, spectrite damage 3. This enchantment was overpowered. The sun was going down and I killed a lot of mobs. I got a backpack so I could store all of my items in there. I did this for 3 days straight. I was strong enough to beat the entire game, but then my world corrupted and I had to start anew. Day 0. Here we go again. Luckily, the crafting recipes were the same. So I made the stone sickle and started grinding. I got the multi-helmet and then I got the gring of acceleration. This gives me access to flight. But the only downside is that I take fall damage. I saw an inventory pet dungeon in the sky, but then I died from fall damage. I wanted my items back, so I started to grind again. But then it was getting dark. I got the time stone and a spectrite axe. I killed anything that got in my way. The next day, I collected lots of wood and built a tower up to rescue my items. I got up there and broke my tombstone, but then a few of my items fell down, and because I panicked, I died by poison. So I grabbed my items that fell on the floor, and I remembered that I could teleport to my death points. It was getting dark, and I got all of my items back, but I lost my way of flight. I dropped down and took 0 fall damage, because I was wearing the Spider-Man mask. And like that, we started Scramblecraft. Day 1. I had what looked like a chaos stone. Not a chaos emerald, but a chaos stone. I continued with my stone sickle and got some OP items. One of these items was the power stone from the infinity armor mod. Right after that, I got the end gaxel. This is an overpowered pickaxe, axe and sword. A 3-in-1 weapon that will be in my inventory for the remainder of this 100 days. It was getting dark and I found another backpack, so I could store even more items in there. Since getting chests in the beginning of Scramblecraft is near to impossible. I killed lots of mobs and then the next day started. I found a dungeon, so I looted that place, but then my game crashed, thinking that I had to start from scratch once again, but luckily that wasn't needed. The sun started to set and the mobs started to spawn, so I killed this mob in particular, and it dropped this. The red Katar. This weapon is probably the 2nd strongest weapon in this mod pack. That's because of its special ability, the extra function. Basically, if I click on X, I'll deal about 1000 attack damage to all the monsters that are around me. Then the next day started and I collected lots of wood and built this thing. I call it a house. When I went to that dungeon, I took every chest I saw, and now I have a place where I can store all of my items. Before I knew it, it was getting dark again, so I made a bed and went to sleep. Today I decided to go and explore, and I found some dungeons, but most importantly, I found Mjolnir. I couldn't pick it up. I am still not worthy. I found an inventory pet dungeon and found the Juggernaut pet. This pet is probably the overpoweredest thing ever. If I right click it, I become invincible for a whole minute long. After that, I found another dungeon, so I killed a few mobs and got the Philosopher's Stone for the Project E mod. I kept going circles and circles around this dungeon. It was like a maze. I found the Infinity Arc Reactor in a chest. Eventually, I found the boss, aka the Necromancer. I used a dupe party scroll. What this does, it duplicates every mob that I kill. And what you didn't know, or maybe you did, if I kill a boss in Scramblecraft, the boss will drop a thing called an uncraftable item. Actually, it will drop multiple uncraftable items. And some of these items can only be obtained if you're in creative mode. So the more bosses I duplicated, the more overpowered items I would get. I could get the Infinity Armor set from the Aetherita mod. But something went wrong. My game started to lag very fast. What I didn't know is that there were skeletons at the back of the building, where the bosses were at. And every time I would use my red guitar's extra function, the skeletons at the back would duplicate. Look at this! I looked through all of these items until it got dark. I headed back home, and before I knew it, it was daytime, and I was back home. I dumped all of my items in my chest and put the new pair of boots on. These boots are called the Gen Boots from the Project E mod. These boots can make me fly. When it was dark, 2 zombies spawned right next to my house, and I killed both of them. And one of them dropped this. The Infinity Body Armor. It was missing the Space Stone and Power Stone. With this on, I get extra arts. Just look at this. I killed some more mobs and went to sleep. The next morning, I put my Space Stone in my inventory to charge it up. The way to charge this thing up is to travel 1 million blocks with the Space Stone in my inventory. Next was the Power Stone, and the way to do that is by combining gunpowder, ender pearls, blaze rods, and a nether star with it. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And lastly, the Infinity Arc Reactor. Luckily though, this was already charged, so I added it to my chestplate. I grabbed some obsidian and smelted some stone, and with these items I made the transmutation table with the help of the default recipe scroll. I stored all of my items in that table, and then I tried giving some of my items a custom EMC value to make my life a lot easier. But after trying for about half an hour, I couldn't get it to work. It was getting dark once again, and I killed lots of mobs. I got the Infinity Armor boots, but these boots aren't that good, because I can't even fly with them. I placed my 1 block down and started mining it for the entire day. Then it was getting dark, so I went to a village and killed lots of villagers to charge up one of my stones. I went back home and made some preparations for the next project. Next thing I knew, it was getting dark, so I mined some blocks for my 1 block and killed some mobs here and there. I wanted to use my troll idol, so I dug a hole and threw my troll idol in there, and then I used my only dupe party scroll and started killing lots of troll idols with the extra function, to the point that my game almost crashed, and I had to wait for about an hour until all of my items had despawned. I didn't really do much. I was on an adventure looking for a new dupe party scroll by looking for dungeons and hoppers, hoping that a boss will drop one. I continued exploring and found Mjolnir, but this time, I was worthy. I flew back home, but the items had still not despawned, so I went AFK for 2 days straight. I needed to find a boss, so I traveled for days. The next day, I found one, but he didn't drop what I was looking for. Later that day, I found an inventory pet dungeon, and in there, it had the Cloud Pet. Now I have creative flight. It was getting dark and I found another dungeon, but this time I had a dupe party that I got from the previous dungeon. So I used the dupe party scroll with the bosses and got a few extra items. The problem was, this boss was very tanky, so I couldn't kill a lot of them. I arrived back home and stored all of my items in my chest. Then I made a cow farm for leather. Leather is used to make the troll idol bosses. It was getting dark, so I decided to look for another dungeon. When it was morning, I found another dungeon, but once again, I didn't find what I was looking for. I went back home and made 13 troll idol bosses with the 1 default recipe scroll that I had. So I spawned the boss in, 1 by 1, to get some OP items, and one being the World Breaker pickaxe. The moment I got that, I decided to make some golden chests and some hoppers. If you've watched my 100 Days in Crazycraft or Kraken Kid, you know what I'm about to do. After that, I used a scroll called the Random Block Walk Scroll. This spawns random blocks in the ground wherever I walk for a certain amount of time. I didn't have any Duke Party scrolls left, so I spawned the troll idols in one by one into my hopper system, and I got some creative cheese from the rats mod. It was getting dark, so I tried going to sleep, but I couldn't. There was a blood moon, and my game started to lag. There were so many mobs, I flew up in the air and AFK'd there for the entire night. Sun started to rise and I did some housework. I saw that I had enough titanium alloy plates to make the infinity gauntlet. I got the cast from a village earlier. But the second I put my titanium alloy plate dust in the furnace, my game crashed. I tried booting it up again, but it didn't work. Basically what happened, the chunk where my house was in had corrupted. I could never enter that world anymore. I searched online how to fix it, and there was only one solution. What I had to do was delete my player file, which in turn would save my world. Now I could enter my world again, but every time I would enter that chunk, the same problem would happen. But that wasn't the only problem. My whole inventory was wiped. So I went into game mode and grabbed whatever I could remember I had in my inventory. And my adventure continued. I made a boss killing room. I connected all of the chests with Hopper to get some OP items. I upgraded my chest and did the same thing I did yesterday. I continued collecting uncraftable items, and I got the longbow of the Evans and 3 infinity stones. The soul stone, power stone, and mind stone. And lastly, I got a lot of scrolls. I made a new boss killing room, but this time I made it similar to the one from my 100 days in Crazycraft. I spawned a troll idol in and used my Duke Party scroll and killed loads of bosses with a click of a button to the point that my game almost crashed again. And all of the uncraftable items would now be stored in all of my chests. And only from that I got the Mind Stone and the Infinity leggings. It was getting dark and I tried it again, but this time it was a bad idea because not only would the troll idols duplicate, the monsters around me too. And then I had to wait until all of the lag would stop. In the morning I wanted to check what I got last night, and I got the Infinity Gauntlet and the last Infinity Stones to go with it. So I filled my Infinity Gauntlet up and my hearts went all the way up. I also got the Stormbreaker Axe. At the end of the day I killed some more bosses and I got another pair of Infinity leggings. Day 28 to 32. I wasn't filming, but this is what happened. Show 'em, Jules. Alright, I don't know how many days I've skipped, but it's day 33 now, so I'm imagining I've been playing for a whole hour and I haven't recorded a single shit. I duplicated some emerald blocks so I could get a lot of EMC. I got the Infinity Shield fully charged. Day 33. I was killing more bosses. I wanted a Wither Skeleton Skull, so I went into the Nether with a Duke Party scroll and found a Wither Skeleton. I kept killing him until I got what I wanted. Haha, got it! The next day I put my Wither Skeleton Skull in the transmutation table and spawned the Wither in. I one-shot him. I did this because I wanted a Nether Star to make the Ring of Immortality, which I only used for about a day or two. All I did was this, and I continued killing bosses for a very long time. Alright, so I've just filmed a ton of shit with like these things, and I was like, that's the commentary. I killed the Wither and whatnot, yada yada yada. Turns out my microphone wasn't even on. So, welcome back. I completed the Draconic armor set. Whoa. That's speed. I can fly without the cloud pet. Interesting. Today, I completed the Infinity armor set. Yo. I got the Rainbow Yo-Yo with the Sword of the Cosmos. I had a new plan to get even more items. If I used my Illuminati pet with the Infinity Gauntlet to speed up time, I could get 1 item per second. But my plan failed. I mined my 1 block for the entire day. Today I wanted to build a new house, so I went thousands of blocks out and found a new location to build it. I wanted to make an underwater base, so I spent over 10 whole days making the space. I started building a frame for the base. I wanted a glass dome for a ceiling. After that was added, I used my sponge pet to get rid of all the water, but then this happened, so I had to fix it. And in that time, I made a chest room with the best chests in the game. And I made the second to last room, the superhero / supervillain room, where I'm gonna store all of my armor sets. This base was inspired by my base from Crazycraft. I killed some more troll idols to see if I could get some more superhero sets. And then I sorted all of my armor out on my armor stands. Yep, this is all I did. It was very boring. Today I wanted to do something different, so I decided to build something. I wanted to build a statue of myself, so I built a stone statue of a classic Minecraft character. I placed glowstone in there so that mobs won't spawn in it. Today I wanted to make all the colors of the wool. The next day I did the same thing, but then with clay. Today I played some piano. I'm so good. I used a command to spawn a player head in of myself, and then I started building my head. Today, I started with my arms. Today, I went into the config file to change one thing. Now, if I snap, I should go into game mode. And now I finished my build in creative. Today, I wanted to fight some bosses, so I grabbed some random boss scrolls and spawned a lot of bosses in. I fought the Chaos Chicken, and look what happens when I attack him with the Sword of the Cosmos. Unbelievable. I still killed him though. I killed boss after boss. I would kill them with my bare fist until this boss spawned in. This is the Ender Calamity. Even the Sword of the Cosmos couldn't finish him off. So the next day I installed the mod that I used to defeat the Ultimate King from Crazycraft. And because I had access to creative mode, I tried to spawn in the sword that killed the Ultimate King in, but they got rid of that sword. All I had was this sword, and as you can see, the attack damage is very different. But still, I couldn't kill him. But I remembered that there was one weapon in this mod pack that did the same amount of attack damage that the God Sword did. I introduce to you the bow. This bow does the same amount of attack damage as that God Sword did. At least, it should be. Yes, it does! I went on a killing rampage. I could even kill the unkillable NPCs that have been living in my mob farm for the entire series. And in my last day, I went and cheated a lot of armor pieces in that I missed and completed everything I wanted to achieve in this 100 days. That was the end of how I spent 100 days in Scramblecraft. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button. We are trying to reach 30,000 subscribers. That would be unbelievable if we could do that. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.